Hey, homeschooling mom, this one is for you. There's no sugarcoating, there's no Pinterest perfect routines here, just real homeschooling secrets that no one says out loud, but every homeschool mom needs to hear. So let's be honest, you didn't expect homeschooling to feel like this. Like, we all knew that this was going to be hard, but we didn't expect homeschooling to stretch us so personally or to bring up our old stuff. I've lived this. I'm a homeschooling mom of four boys and homeschool coach, and in this video, I'm sharing 7 truths that help me rebuild from burnout and why your hardest moments might be the beginning of something beautiful. Secret number 1, homeschooling will stretch you more than it stretches your kids. No one talks about how homeschooling breaks you open. You think it's about lesson planning and curriculum, but then you're sobbing on the kitchen floor because the math meltdown wasn't even about math. It was about the pressure you've been holding on your chest since 6 a.m. That feeling that no one sees how much you're juggling, and that fear in the back of your mind that you're somehow messing it all up. You'll lose parts of yourself in the process. You certainly lose your time. More than once, you'll lose your calm and you'll lose your sense of control. But here's what no one tells you. When everything feels like it's falling apart, it's actually the start of something being rebuilt. You're being stripped back to your foundations of a person, not to punish you, but to give you a clean slate, a chance to build rhythms, relationships, routines that are rooted in who you are now, not who the world told you to be. I write about this in my book, Overwhelmed, especially the moment I call my lava monster season. It wasn't my breaking point, it was my becoming. Because homeschooling did not cause my burnout, it simply revealed it. And it gave me a chance to finally heal. Secret number 2, you do not need more curriculum. You need more margin. Most overwhelmed homeschool moms don't actually have a curriculum problem, they have a time problem. We keep telling ourselves there just aren't enough hours in the day. And that becomes the story we live in. And it always is true. So we start cramming. We're going to do a little math. We're going to do history. We're going to do handwriting. We're going to do Latin. Oh, then snack, chores, meltdowns, like the toddler screaming and scaling the refrigerator. And we wonder why everyone's melting down by 11 a.m., including us. But what if there were enough hours in the day? Not because you did more, because you made space for what matters most. When I started adding margin to my day, intentional breathing room for life to happen, everything changed. Margis gave us this space to recover from the unexpected, to be human, to connect, and to pivot when things went sideways, because they will. And honestly, margin is where the best parts of homeschooling started to live. The moments in between where I used to rush past. Margin is not laziness, it's a strategy. Secret 3, her homeschooling isn't better, it's just filtered. That reel with the calm music and beautifully lit morning baskets. It probably took her 12 takes, and someone was crying, which is why she has music on. And she might have even needed to bribe the kids with gummy bears. Your homeschooling doesn't have to look like hers to be meaningful. Your child will not remember a perfectly executed unit study or a flawless worksheet. They're going to remember how safe they felt when things didn't go as planned, how you were their anchor. Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." That's the legacy you and I are building. Not a perfect transcript, but a relationship rooted in trust and safety. Secret number 4, that meltdown, it was the lesson. You sat down and you wanted to teach spelling, but instead you had to teach your child how to come back from frustration. That is not wasted time, my friend. That is real life curriculum. Because the truth is, your child will need resilience every single day of their lives. Far more often that they're going to need to diagram a sentence. The better they can learn to bounce back from hard things, the better their quality of life will be. And I remember one day when I completely skipped school to have my son tighten screws on the dining room table and help scrub the walls. Their grandpa was coming over, and I wanted to create a peaceful place for him to walk into. At, at least as peaceful a place could be with in an apartment with four boys. So cleaning the walls and tightening the chairs was not on the lesson plan for the week, but it was an important lesson about honoring those we love and creating an atmosphere to welcome them into. Secret 5, laughter saves the day. Now, there are days when we've completely ditched the lesson plan to go hang out with a family we love, or we packed it up and headed to the beach because the weather was beautiful and we could. And honestly, those days have taught my boys just as much as the ones where we stayed on schedule. We've learned to be flexible, how to enjoy the moment, and how to prioritize relationships. And that's not a break from learning, that is learning. And sometimes the memories and the life lessons they carry forward, they won't come from a textbook. They'll come from those moments and you said, yes, let's go. Secret number 6, you're not the student anymore. You're the captain now. If you've been homeschooling, like you still have to turn in your work and prove something to someone and like somebody's looking over your shoulder, this one's for you. So many of us were raised in a system that trained us to perform. Follow the rules, stay busy, don't fall behind. And without even realizing it, we carry that mindset into our homeschool, as if there's still a teacher with a red pen waiting to grade us. But here's the secret nobody says out loud. You don't have an overlord anymore. You don't have to ask permission. You get to build this from the ground up. The routines, the expectations, the pace, the priorities. You're not the student anymore. You're the captain now. And that means you don't have to recreate the very system you walked away from. You get to build something lighter, freer, something that fits your values and your family. Secret number 7, your worth has nothing to do with your consistency. I want you to read that again. Your worth has nothing to do with how consistent your homeschool days are. You are still a good mom on the messy days, the days when the emotions run high, lessons fall apart, and nothing goes according to plan. You are not behind. You are simply rebuilding something that will last. One meltdown, one missed lesson, and one day where it feels like it all is a wash does not undo the love, effort, and intention you show up with. You are doing so much more than teaching subjects. You're building safety. You're shaping nervous systems. You're showing your kids how to be a human. And that includes how to mess up and try again. Consistency is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but compassion is what makes it sustainable. So if today was messy, you're still right on time. If these secrets resonated with you, you're not alone. I wrote my book, Overwhelmed, with your heart and mind because I've lived through that unraveling and I know what it feels like to want something more peaceful, to not know where to start. This isn't just a book, it's a rescue plan. This is a way to rebuild your homeschool with brain-based routines that calm your nervous system, help you enjoy your kids again, and finally feel like yourself. So if you're craving a gentler way of homeschooling and a more grounded version of you, you can grab your copy on Amazon. The link is below. It's never too late to begin again.